good morning. Blessings to each and every one of you. I just want to say to everyone, welcome to Divine Soul Journey. We say divine because we connect with our divine. We say soul because we all have a soul. And a journey because we're all in a journey together. And I know it's from week to week, you always come and you visit with us. And we just want to say we're very thankful and grateful for you and each and every one of you every week. And I just want to say, on the Divine Soul Journey with my beautiful co-host, Porsche Ng, I just want to say from our hearts to yours, welcome. And I would love right now, without further ado, to introduce my lovely co-host, none other than Porsche Ng. Porsche, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you, Dianne. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you, everyone from around the world, for joining us. We're so grateful that you take your time to be with us, and you're in for an amazing, magical experience today. We're so grateful. We've been wanting to have him on the show for a while now, and we're going to have one of the most magical people in the whole world, one of my most favorite people. And Dianne loves him too. And David Lusch will be here. He's a certified master teacher of the Tao Academy. He's a grand master of calligraphy. He's the leader of the Tao Academy Tao Hands Coordinator program. And he's just an amazing person. And he brings so much love, so much magic. And later we'll even talk about our new True Love show that he's going to help us to support people to find their true love and transform their whole life into magic. And so you definitely want to stay tuned. You want to see what unfolds. So yeah, Diane, this is gonna be great.
Yay! Oh my goodness. Can't
I'm
wait
so
for this,
excited.
There's so many people out there. It's not even about true love in the sense of, someone who's single or looking for someone, but it's really true love within themselves or even within a relationship. So it applies to everyone.
Yes. Yeah, and so David will talk about true love and what it really means. And, we speak about Dr. Master Jigong Shah a lot. And truly, the truest love is love for everyone and everything. And I don't want to, to let the magic out too soon. I think David will let us know his heart and soul and what he's seen and what he's seen with so many students around the world. And I'm just super excited, and you should be too. So definitely be prepared for the unexpected and all of the magic. So thanks, Diane. I can't wait for David to come on.
Well, welcome, David.
So,
He's quiet at
welcome,
the back
David.
there. Welcome, welcome. We're all excited. We're waiting. I'm waiting to hear. That's all I have
Yay!
to say, David.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here with you, Diane, with Portia, for this wonderful show where we can hopefully inspire and empower others to transform their lives and their spiritual journey in some way. And so, if you're listening, welcome you, and we're so grateful you're here, and let us have a wonderful time together.
Well, thank you so much. Okay, Portia, it's your baby. Come on.
Okay, well, yeah, let's talk a little bit about how David got here and his divine soul journey. His story is really, it's quite magical, and it's really transformative, and it gives hope to so many people. So I'm just going to let David have the floor and just share what's in his heart and soul about his life and his transformation and what's going on with him now. So go ahead, David.
So, my journey to spirituality, to healing, to transformation started a while ago. I think for all of us, it starts earlier in life. When we look back, there are signs and there's messages along the way that we understand we're part of a bigger picture. For myself, of course, it started as a child in different ways. Yet one of the most significant impacts of my life that ultimately brought me to my spiritual journey was when I started suffering from obsessions around the age of 10. And with that, I began to have these negative thoughts. Thoughts such as, you're going to die, or your mother's going to die, or you're going to be kidnapped, molested, and killed. And this quickly drove to compulsions, some which people might consider superstitious, where I started to count and or touch things in the number of 4 that eventually went into multiple of 4. And with that, slowly but surely, I came down with a mental disorder. And around the age of 13, I was diagnosed with obsessive compulsive disorder. Yet I could hide it for a while because I got good grades. I was an all-star athlete and I could still function. And the thing about OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, is that you still have your logical sense. So whatever these thoughts are, whatever these behaviors are, whatever it may be, it doesn't totally make sense. And yet you continue to do them because what happens is you somehow have a momentarily relief of this suffering. And when you have that relief, what happens is you continue in the same cycle of fear, worry, anxiety, of the obsession, of the compulsion, and you continue forward until you really find that transformation deep within yourself. And yet most people never reach there. For myself, I had multiple layers of transformation. And I remember I was riding in a car with my mom, and while she was driving, and I was around the age of 13, and I had been diagnosed with OCD, and I was sitting there thinking about it, and I heard this voice, you're going to die. For the first time in my life, I sat back and I said, I paused and I spoke back. And I said to that voice, I may die, but I'm not going to live my life anymore like this. And with that, it got even more intense. The thoughts, the negativity. And I decided, I forced myself not to count or touch the number of 4. And if somehow I was already doing it, I would end on a different number randomly. And over a period of 9 months, also on medication, I stopped a lot of that counting, all that counting and touching and that type of fear. Yet the obsessions and the compulsions continued in different ways, where someone would say something and I would feel disrespected. And so it would spin around in your head. And then often you would have a confrontation. You would have a argument or a fight or a blow up, and people were hurt. And that fight became like your compulsion. And the medication had side effects. It made me tired. It stunted my growth. It gave me dry mouth. And the suffering continues. But yet inside, I knew one day I would be healed. And with that, I was at a pool party and I got thrown in the pool. My ear clogged up. This is in my mid-20s. And I tried everything. I couldn't get it out. And so I decided to sleep on that ear. It still clogged the next morning. I did a search on the internet and I found someone who did different kinds of alternative therapies. Called her. In the meantime, was able to get a suction and squirt out the clog. And what happened was I ended up meeting this alternative practitioner who was also a Tao healer of Master Sha. And she told me about Master Sha. And I went away and I could feel the spiritual healing. I still had, doubts and resistances because I didn't just follow anything blindly. And yet I heard about Master Sha. I got on Dr. and Master Jigong Sha, and I got on the telephone. I listened to some free teleconferences, free healing conferences. And when I met Master Sha at the soul retreat, and I learned all about the soul, the power and abilities of the soul, how you can use the power of the soul to heal and transform your life. And I received incredible Tao blessings. I received incredible spiritual healing. I learned how to practice. I went home and it was like I went through a divine car wash. And my whole life changed. My relationship changes. The way I responded to people to change. I was healing. And with that, I continued to do practices. I went to more events, received more blessings, and I knew I was healed. And I went to my psychiatrist, because in America you have to, see the doctor to get the prescription. And I told him I was healed. And he took me off the medication, one that may not work in 50% of the cases again if you try and go back on it. And within 1 year to the day I met Master Sha, actually, I realized later I was healed and off of all medication for OCD. And so I also suffered from hypothyroidism, low thyroid function. And my endocrinologist told me I was on a dose of medication so high, my thyroid should never work again. I told him I was healed. He agreed to take me off the medication and told me, well, it doesn't work, we'll put you back on. You'll be emotional, tired, and moody, and whatever else. I said, I'm healed. And I've been off medication for 15 years for that now. And it's been the medium blood range for all my lab work ever since. I just got it done a couple months ago. And so what I've learned along my journey is this. When you're on a healing journey, if you go deep enough, you will find your spiritual journey. And if you're on your spiritual journey and you progress far enough, you will find your healing journey, because there will be things inside of you that need healing and transformation.
That's amazing. I'm thinking here because I dealt with my daughter who was diagnosed very young, not with OCD, with ADHD. I don't like to put labels on anyone or anything or give it any energy, but as a 13-year-old, 12, 13-year-old, it's so confusing, especially for a girl when your hormones are starting to kick in and everything else. And I could just imagine how confusing it was for you at that young age. On the other side of that too, you're hearing this voice in telling you that you may die at a 13-year-old. How did I put it? You're 13 years old, you hear this voice, you decide to listen to it. You're 13, for goodness sake, David. Most 13-year-olds wouldn't even know what that means. What made you listen to that voice inside of you? Am I saying that correct?
The voice kept repeating.
Okay, so you couldn't ignore it. But you're 13, David. You're 13, and I was saying, okay, go away, right?
it started around the age of 10, and it got even more triggered when there was a young girl, 1 year older than me, kidnapped off the side of the road in a city nearby. And so I was in a restaurant called Big Daddy's, and I was with my mom, and I was eating an ice cream cone. And ice cream was always my favorite. It was always my favorite dessert. And what happens was I turned my head, and there on the window, or there on the wall, was the photo of the kidnapper, and I just froze. I went into paralysis. And what happened was I went home, I threw away the ice cream cone, I laid on my bed for a few hours, and it was just like, in a way, it's like trauma came out. And it was very painful. And so it intensified it after that. And it was ultimately it was an incredible blessing, because it brought me to where I am today. Yet it was a very painful experience as well.
You know what? I'm sitting here thinking, and I never thought about this before. Usually, when someone at a very young age goes through any type of trauma or any type of diagnosis of something, could be anything, let's say the OCD or the ADHD or bipolar or so forth, what typically happens, or what I've noticed, at least in my close circles, is the fact that these youngsters are very highly intellectual. They're very smart. They're very intuitive. And I actually took my daughter to the center over 7 years ago. When I first was introduced to it, and I can't remember who was the lady, an older lady came up to me and said, and looked at my daughter and said, she has a gift. And she's a very smart girl. She has challenges because she's created so many, society has created so many challenges for her. I'm going to leave it as that. But the point is, they're very intuitive and they're very smart and spiritual. They just don't know how to tap into it. And that's what I noticed. I've worked with people who are visually impaired, and I'm telling you, we're the ones who are impaired, not them. So there's a sense that triggers off, that's sharpened when, for a young person to, I'm not sure if I'm going to say gift this, only because it opens up another awareness that some people recognize and some don't. And in your case, you did recognize it, or you worked with it, and you listened to that voice. Do you tend to find that as well? Now as I'm thinking about it, thinking back of what we went through. I mean, she still goes through, and she has to go through her journey. There's no question about it. If she rejects it, it's totally up to her. But I know there's a lot of young people who are very smart, who are being branded and labeled certain types of conditions, but they're very smart. Do you see that in your practice?
Many people who suffer from mental or emotional disorders also, they can be very highly intelligent and very sensitive to spiritual abilities. They also can be inside, they're just misaligned in many ways with their blockages and their information and their energy and their matter. And so some aspects of them are incredibly, attuned, yet some are struggling. And it's no different from someone who suffers from other conditions. There's incredibly smart and intelligent people who suffer from any condition. So it's definitely can be true where you find that these children who are suffering mentally and emotionally are very heightenedly aware and sensitive to different frequencies, to different spirituality and more, and they just don't understand how to process it because we don't learn that in mainstream society and largely in family or culture or education. It's just not taught widely anymore. about the spiritual gifts and how to process, to understand, and to go through experiences that are beyond the mind. And when one is unable to do that, sometimes it creates a situation of a mental illness.
You know, one of the things that I know, and I'm sorry, Portia, this hits really close to home as we're
No,
talking about
it's
this.
fine. Go ahead.
And there's quite a few people I know will be listening who are going through this, is the fact that, see, a lot of people are going to know about my story. They blame the parents, they blame society, they blame everyone around them. And I believe we're going to be leading up to a forgiveness practice in a moment, sooner than probably we expected. And you can expect anything from here. But the fact is, when we talk about, you know, cause versus effect, you know, I take responsibility for everything I do. I don't blame people. I do my best, I should say, not to blame people. I've learned that the hard way. But the other side of that is the fact that they don't understand it's not really their parents or their siblings or the people around them or the teacher. Very smart kids, believe me, I have smart kids. But the other side to that is it comes from our ancestors, their ancestors, I should say, as well, right? And they don't understand that a lot of the karma, because we're going to talk about karma and forgiveness, comes from there. So maybe you can tell us a little bit about it, because they believe that they're broken, or people, or society, or doctors tell them that, you know, you got to be fixed, you got to take medication, you're broken, and that's not the case. With a simple B12, sublingual B12 tablet I have that actually did help her, because I said to her, you're going to take it, she stopped taking it, obviously. But that helped her as opposed to the medication. You know, there's girlfriends I know who their kids are going through so much, and the girlfriends tell them, their peers, to go to the doctor, and it's depression. So guess what? They go to the doctor and they get medication. There's so many people I know. So how do you address that in regards to telling people they're not broken to be fixed to begin with? And it's just how to work with their karma. And maybe we can do a forgiveness practice after that. Please.
I think, Dianne, there's so many different topics around what you're addressing here. And first, we honor Western medicine. They do help people. You know, for me, the medication, it did help me,
Of course.
on many levels. And yes, there were side effects. What I would say is that the world has a lot of negativity and pollution right now, all around. And if we look at the media, we look at the entertainment, we look at society, there's a lot of negativity, there's a lot of complaining, there's a lot of darkness, or whatever you would want to, however you'd want to describe it. There is obviously climate change, there's air pollution, there's water pollution. The plastic has turned into a huge issue for humanity. And there's all kinds of sicknesses and diseases and financial issues around the world. And all of that field, that negative vibrational field, affects us. There's also positive vibrational fields in the world as well. And yet, in terms of children or even adults, we are spiritual beings, and we're made up of soul, heart, mind, energy, and matter. Or in Tao science, or in quantum physics, they say information, energy, and matter. And we can have positive and negative information, energy, and matter on all levels. And we are creators, and we create in every second through our thoughts, our speech, and our actions. And we are manifestors, and we manifest all the time as well what we've already created. So when one believes in multiple lifetimes or reincarnation, it comes over the spectrum of the soul journey. When one says, I only believe in this life, that's fine too. Everyone has free will. It's an accumulation of this life, and we have ancestors that can affect us in every lifetime. So, with that, we can only resonate. We can only bring into our lives anything that is already within us on some level, whether it's positive or negative information. And you can think of like a computer program. A computer program is made of information, and we are in the information age. And with that, whatever information is in that program and what it's designed to do is what it can do. So if you think of our own selves, that we're also like a program, and we are constantly coding our lives and our soul journeys with positive and negative information through our thoughts, speech, and actions, and we realize that only what is in us can resonate with what we're bringing into our lives, whether it's our health, our relationships, our finance, our business, our intelligence, then we learn, I can't blame anyone because there's something inside of me that's helping to at least co-create this situation that I'm in, including mental and emotional disorders. Because the disease or the sickness can ripen when the environment is ready. Just like the seed in the ground can only turn into a plant, a tree, or a harvest when the environment produces the right conditions for it to grow. Therefore, with OCD, with any issue in life, ADHD, diabetes, migraine, headaches, cancer, with broken relationship, can't find my true love, financial challenges, the environment has to occur for that to materialize and manifest. And we get in that environment based upon what we resonate. Why was I happen to be in that restaurant eating an ice cream cone, and all of a sudden I feel this urge to turn my head and see the photo of the kidnapper? Coincidence? Some people would say yes. However, there was something inside of me that was resonating with it in a negative way to help create that situation where I said to my mom, can we get an ice cream cone? Therefore, when one realizes that blaming others disempowers you, and when they realize that taking responsibility for their part in anything in life empowers them, then they are truly free to be able to make lasting change and transformation. And with that, they are able then to truly look at life differently and realize they're a creator and manifester. Realize that they have the power to heal and transform themselves. It may not always be easy. It may take time. It may be very painful. But now they're able to operate and work on a deeper level, on their soul, heart, mind, body. They're able to recode their program, change their program. They can change the message of their life and their soul journey. This is what Dr. and Master Jigong Sha is teaching. This is why millions of people around the world have benefited from his teaching. This is why you hear story after story after story all around the world. Is it always easy? No, but you have to have that deep desire to want to change, to want to transform. Because where will you be in 3 years from now if you continue where you are? You're going to be exactly where you are, maybe worse. You could be a little better, maybe, but nothing significant. You have to ask yourself, am I tired of living my life in certain ways? Am I tired of blaming others? Am I tired of being sick or not finding a true love partner, dating the wrong man or woman? Am I tired of this? And if I am truly tired, am I willing to take responsibility for my life? Because when I blame others, I give away all responsibilities. I give away all my power. But when I'm
Absolutely.
willing to take responsibility, am I willing to put the work in? There's lots of people, they think about working out, but do they do it? Not necessarily. Therefore, with healing, with your spiritual journey, you have to invest your time, just like the farmer who invests his time into the fields, and one day the crop harvest.
Thank you so much. And I just want to say on this note, it would be a good time to say that we're not some disclaimers here to begin with. If you feel something is wrong, please do go visit your doctor. We're not saying not to until you decide what it is you want to do, how you want to live your life, and that's totally up to you. Take the responsibility. Definitely, it's your journey. Listen to the doctors, listen to your heart, listen to your soul, listen to divine, listen to anything. The other thing I want to say, no, this is not about religion. Absolutely, we respect everybody's religion, your faith, and we're not here to convince anyone whatsoever. Each one of us here today on this show right now, David, Porsche, myself, and everyone else who comes on there, we've had, I would say definitely, it saved my life, and that's where, over the weeks and the months of this show, you get to know more about our stories. But I could definitely say, we were someone for a reason. And last November, actually, it's just around on the 1 year anniversary when I really was led to that center again for the second time. So it's come up an anniversary. So I want to say thank you, David, for that and sharing that. But let's just take a shift now, and we talk about true love while we're here, because I do want to say as well that I'm pretty sure that there's quite a few people who is listening on, globally. It has touched a lot of people because we have a lot of young people and adults who are going through that. So thank you so much for spending the time with me to talk about this. Let's talk about something and a slightly different now. Well, it's connected, of course. And Porsche, I'll let you lead this one with the true love, and then we'll go into the practices.
Oh, thanks, Dianne. And thank you so much, David. It's very inspiring. And let me just say something before we shift topics a little bit. I'm so happy that David brought up and Dianne brought up taking full responsibility. I think that is so important, 100%. I remember I was in a workshop with David. He's taught several, and definitely you want to check him and the London Center out about all these amazing workshops and globally on Dr. Master Shah's website. But what I want to say is that what struck me is what he just said about taking 100% responsibility. And, his story was super powerful because I remember him saying, that story that he told you when he heard that voice in the car and he finally spoke back took a lot of courage. But, I remember him saying that it was like, it was do or die. It was something that at a point in his life where he knew he was going to transform or he wasn't. He was just going to take the 100% responsibility. And that's across the board with everything from mental illness to, to everything in our life. True love true love is creating that whole field of love in your life. And David will explain more about that since we only have, about 10 minutes left in the show. We really want to talk about this and how this can actually even help you with some of the emotional and mental issues that may be coming up for all of us. One thing that David also talked about in a prior workshop was that all of us, seriously, that I'm not good enough, or self-worth issues, or blame, or, whatever it is, we all have these feelings coming up. We all have these conditions. And so we can all transform. So, David, do you want to talk a little bit about true love and what it is and how you help transform people in the last few moments here?
Thank you so much, Portia. True love is the Tao source love. It's the universal oneness love. It is the unconditional love. It is the greatest love, and it can be experienced with every single being, every life form, the countless planets, stars, galaxies, and universes, and more. True love, we often think of in a partnership way, because that's the way we most commonly use it. However, there's so many true love relationships, true love experiences that really can nurture and grow your life in beautiful and blessed ways. So you can have, of course, true love with the ultimate source and creator. You can have true love experiences, the pure love experience with saints, Buddhas, lamas, gurus, ascended masters, angels, any name you may call it in your belief system or religion for a very holy being. You can have true love in family with your grandparents, with your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, your children, grandchildren, other relatives. Of course, you can have true love with a life partner where you take this journey together. You can have true love with your own self. You can have true love with animals, with pets, with the nature, with the ocean, with the rivers, with the sea, with the mountains, with the valleys, with the trees. You can have true love with the sun, with the moon, with the planets, because we are all a vibrational field in quantum physics. In essence, we're all a field, and every field is radiating, and we can interact with each other, and we can carry pure love in our field. Therefore, you can have true love with everyone and everything. And the purest love, the highest love, the source love, melts all blockages and transforms all life.
Well, David, I'm going to say to you, my true love right now, when people laugh when I say this is no joke. It's I'm not dismissing the true love, but it's really my business. It's what I do. This is my love. Hanging out with Portia every so often, a couple of times a week, and just doing all of it, having a place where I can have other people come in and do certain things here in this space. And that's what my true love is about right now, is building this for humanity and to serve my business. And people would laugh when I tell them that, but this is my love.
And that makes perfect sense to me.
Really, it does.
What is true love? Many people think true love, you only have one in a life. Maybe it's your life partner, and that's it. But we're meant to have all kinds of true love relationships and experiences, and we're meant to spread that love. And many people are afraid to love or spread love. Like, you just meet a stranger. People sometimes cannot share the love. It doesn't mean you have to say, hello, stranger, I love you. But you can say hello and radiate love, and give love, and share love, and receive love. So everything can be a true love experience.
But I'll tell you
That's
as well.
Beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'll tell you one thing though. For me, and I know this goes for Porsche, and I'm sure yourself and most people, if I don't have that soul connection and energy that you can feel it, then it's not for me. And that's basically what it is. It has to have that treasured yin yang when you talk about unconditional love connection. that's what it is for me in a person. Right now, I have that with
And
my business. So if you
and you
think if
know,
you ain't got that, don't come by me right now. That's what it is.
uh, well, people, of course, people want to feel it,
Mm-hmm.
but some of the beauty of true love is nurturing it and growing it and discovering it in the places you may not feel it. And that
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean, you need to do things you don't want to do. But most human beings, they have some family members or friends or someone in their life they have lots of challenges with, or they get triggered a lot by. Those people are our greatest teachers. And when we can transform that kind of relationship into a more enriching, fulfilling, true love relationship, then you're now able to have healed and transformed that relationship and bring out that true love that was hidden by the darkness, by the clouds, by the negativity. And at the end of the day, everyone wants to be loved deep down inside. Everyone wants to give love, receive love, be love, experience love. If we just keep saying the word love, 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 we feel it even more because, like anything, what you put your attention on, what you focus and concentrate on, what you think, speak, and do, what you chant, what you sing is what you become. It's what you resonate with. And so you bring that field to you. You bring yourself the universal love field.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Portia,
So I think,
we're
yes,
gonna
I
get it.
think
We're
it's a
gonna
good
get.
time now
Yeah,
to do
absolutely. A
forgiveness
treat.
practice.
Yeah, we.
Yeah.
I know David has to give us a little taste and a treat. So, Portia, it's all yours.
No, I think what we can do now in the last few minutes of the show is David could do a very short forgiveness practice that could bring all of this beautiful true love into our life, just very short. And David's a master of this. He actually wrote with Dr. Master Jigong Shah and Cynthia as well. He wrote this beautiful Greatest Forgiveness book. And I have it. I have many copies. I give it away to my friends. And so you can order that on Amazon. It's amazing. So maybe, David, you could take us through that in the last few minutes. Is that fine?
Yes. How long do we have?
We have about 3 minutes.
David, take your time. Take your time. It's okay. David, take your time. Whatever it is you need, you take your time. Give us the taste, give us the blessing, give us the forgiveness. You know what? You're going to inspire a lot of people right now, and you're going to help a lot of people. And it's not about time, again, within time, but it's not about time on my side. We're forgiving here. We're very forgiving people, loving people over here, okay?
Absolutely. And if you don't have the true love in your life, like what David spoke about, true love is everything, then definitely we need to do forgiveness. So
Oh,
go ahead,
yeah.
David.
David's going to give us some true love blessings. Don't worry. He's not leaving here until he gives us that. Let's go
Okay,
ahead.
everyone. Also on TaoAcademy.com, there's a True Love video on demand course to discover all kinds of aspects of true love with myself and other teachers. Welcome you to go there. It will really help to expand your mind on what true love is. So, everyone, sit up straight, put one hand below your navel, put one hand on your heart. Fully open your soul, heart, mind, and body, and relax and let go. Breathe golden light into your abdomen and visualize in your abdomen any kind of relationship that needs more love. It could be a family member, it could be a partner, but you could say, I'm really looking for my true love life partner. Fine, choose that one. You say, my business, like Dianne, my business, or my finances, whatever. Wherever you want to work right now, it's fine. Fully open and speak from your heart and soul, and repeat along with me. Dear, say the name of the person or your business or your finances, whatever you're working on. I love you. I sincerely apologize and ask for your forgiveness for the harm and unpleasant service I've offered you. And I unconditionally forgive you for everything. I am very grateful. Thank you. And now repeat with me. I love you unconditionally. You love me unconditionally. I forgive you unconditionally. You forgive me unconditionally. Bring love, peace, and harmony. Thank you. I love you unconditionally. You love me unconditionally. I forgive you unconditionally. You forgive me unconditionally. Bring love, peace, and harmony. Bring love, peace, and harmony. Thank you. Really pour out the love and forgiveness from your heart and soul. I love you unconditionally. You love me unconditionally. I forgive you unconditionally. You forgive me unconditionally. Bring love, peace, and harmony. Bring love, peace, and harmony. Bring love, peace, and harmony. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we close this practice. Everyone open your eyes, move your body around. And know you can do this practice as long as you want. There's no time limit. Some of this practice you can find in the Greatest Forgiveness book you can get on Amazon. And allow love and forgiveness to fill your life, to fill your being. Use it as a fuel to serve others. Use it to heal and transform your life. Dr. and Master Jigong Shah always teaches us, I have the power to heal and transform myself. You have the power to heal and transform yourself. Together, we have the power to heal and transform this world. I love you all unconditionally. Thank you for being with all of us. It's been a great honor for me to be on this show, to be with all of you, to be with you, Dianne, and to be with you, Portia. Thank you from my heart and soul.
Thank you so much,
Oh,
David.
thank you.
So let's get, you have a few minutes, very short moment. What would be the one, give us your words of wisdom or a tip or something. One final thought, final thought before we go to Portia. If it's one thing we can do today, right now, today, for those who are listening, what's the one little thing they can change?
Make the decision today to believe in yourself. Believe you can heal and transform. And give everything to do it. Give everything to spread love and forgiveness to others. Believe, believe, believe.
Thank you so much for that. And, it's true. It's, first of all, you got to believe in yourself, and others will believe in you. I believed in this, and Portia believed in what I believed in. And I always say we were summoned for this because we believe in what we're doing. So Portia, you have a good few minutes. We haven't heard much from you today, so this is your time. What would you like to say to
No,
everyone?
it's fine. Yeah, definitely. I was just enthralled by David's story because there's some parts of it I haven't heard. And so I was actually glad that he spoke of, more of it. And so I would say this, David's one of the most brilliant people I know. We've had Dr. and Master Lynch, who was a quantum physicist and string theorist and wrote many books as well. And David's authored many books, but truly, he's equally as brilliant. Everyone shines in their own light. And one thing I really love of David is he never gives up. He's so persistent, he's determined, and he's heart focused, and he manifests things into him. And when he says that he can help transform you and he knows the way, he does because he follows Dr. Master Shah's practices. And Master Shah is an amazing light to the world. And so I've been in groups with wonderful people that he's taken from, just being in relationships all the way. She's so happy. One of his students, Burchin, and she took his True Love course at Tao Academy, and he gave her magnificent treasure. And she's like beyond happy. She's married now. They celebrated, I think, a 6 month or 1 year anniversary. I saw her the other day, and I saw her pictures, and she's just smiling. There's so much light in her, and I want to thank David for stories like that and stories around the world that I hear about from students who talk to me and people that appreciate his love and his light. And so definitely you want to be around people like this, around Dianne and David and people that glow from within. And I would say, check out his Greatest Forgiveness book. Definitely check out the London Center. They're having an Opening to Spiritual Channels workshop coming up in a few months, and they always have amazing events. I went to it, and it literally blew out my heart and my mind. It was explosive. I am registered for the next one coming up already. So I would just say, take the opportunity. This is an amazing opportunity to exactly what David and Dianne spoke on, is to transform your whole life. Make the decision now, in this moment. Let this moment be life transformational for you and experience that turnaround in your life so you can really be that light that shines throughout the whole world. And together we can do this as one. So thank you, Dianne. Thank you, David.
Thank you both so much. There's so much of us said today that really resonates with myself and each and every one of us who's listening, and Portia and David, and all the great, speakers that we have. And it's sometimes we don't know why we do what we do. We don't know why we're summoned here at this today, or in this century, or in this lifetime. We know why we're here is for our soul to learn the lessons, to go home as we sit in enlightenment. But when you listen to people like David and Dr. Ruling and Master Shan, like I said, we're not here to convince anyone. But I'm saying to you, when you're lost and you don't know what's going on, and I'm not branding anyone here, but the fact sometimes we don't know what we're doing. Sometimes we have to stop and listen, and we'll get that message like David and myself when it says, just go and create a radio show. Okay, stop what you're doing and go here. Okay, that's how I got my Buddha. All these little things, and we're not talking about lightning and fireworks and so forth. It's just a thought that's speaking to us. Most of us don't have our spiritual channels open yet, or a third eye open yet, we have to say, because it's not yet. It's when it's divine. And divine, again, is God, the saints, Buddha, whoever it is, divine is in your faith. So I want everybody to, like Steve Harvey says, you have to jump. And one day the parachute is going to open, and reach out and take the risk like we did, like I did. And I want to thank David so much for coming. And, hopefully, if we've touched one person today, one person, I believe, that David has a very busy schedule, so does Portia, we all do, then it was worth it. And I want to say to each and every one of you, thank you so much, because you want this show. You keep asking for this show, and as long as you want it, we're going to be here. David, I hope you're going to be back at some point in time when you have a little bit more time to spend with us. And I can't thank you enough. Portia, as always, you You're my soul sister. I love you. You're such a hardworking person. I don't know where you get the time from. And to each and every one of you out there, I just want to say aloha, namaste, sitaram, assalamu alaikum, good day, good night, peace and blessings to each and every one of you. And I have to say, I really want to say thank you, Master Shah, for saving my life and many others that you keep hearing, and the Divine for stepping in and saying, you know what, I'm your daughter, I'm your son. So you're my daughter, you're my son, and I'm here for you. Each and every one of you, in the words of Dr. Shah, the Master Shah, love, peace, and harmony. We love you all. Until next time on the Divine Soul Journey, this is Portia and Dianne and David saying, we love you all. And thank you.